So we got some massive news last night as Democrats won Donald Trump's home district in Florida. Yes, the place where Donald Trump lives, the place that he calls the Winter White House, Mar-A-Lago. Democrat Emily Gregory defeating her Republican opponent there. Truly amazing stuff. We're going to get into that today. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you toss me a like. It really, truly helps me out a lot. But an amazing win for Emily Gregory there in Donald Trump's home district in Florida. Here's Chris Hayes announcing the news last night.
Breaking news out of Florida tonight, specifically the State House district that contains Mar-A-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, where a special election was held in the district that Donald Trump lives in. It's a district that Donald Trump votes in. In fact, he voted via mail in this, despite how much he says he hates voting by mail. It's a district that Donald Trump carried in 2024 by 11 points, and it is a district, as we just got word from the AP moments ago, that will now be represented by the woman you see on your screen, Emily Gregory, the Democrat. Trump also encouraged all, quote, great patriots in the district to vote for Maples. Well, that didn't work so well. It seems like perhaps not as many turned out as Trump would have hoped in a district. Again, he carried by double digits last November. Right now, we're looking at what looks like somewhere a 12, 13, 14-point swing towards Democrats since 2024. Again, in the district that contains Mar-A-Lago, where Donald Trump sent his mail-in ballot that he's been railing against for years, and will now be represented by a Democrat in his backyard.
Yeah, this is a seat that Donald Trump himself won by 11 points. It's a seat that he takes a lot of pride in. We learned as well that Donald Trump, of course, voted in this election. He actually voted by mail. Many news outlets reported this, even though Donald Trump, of course, himself has railed on vote by mail for many years as a fraudulent way to vote. Of course, he gets to vote by mail, but even his vote was not enough as Emily Gregory was able to win this seat. And it has to be a really embarrassing moment for Trump because not only is this district his home, it's where he spends a lot of his time, where he has raised Barron and has, of course, numerous friends and family that live there. But it's a place that he actually endorsed the Republican candidate to a pretty significant degree. And of course, he endorses sometimes he doesn't. But take a look at Donald Trump endorsing the GOP candidate prior to the election. Here's that clip.
Great people. Is John Maples here? Get up here, John. You gotta meet John. I'm endorsing John. He's got the greatest commercial I think I've ever seen. The only thing it says is Trump's endorsing me. Come up here, John. Come on up. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, and how humbling to be on a stage with the best president we could ever imagine. And
yeah, Trump just endorsed him pretty heavily, you know, a strong endorsement, which obviously was not enough. And I think it really goes to show a couple of things. Number one, the stunning rebuke of Donald Trump and his politics, and the really failure of the Republican Party to put forward candidates who can win. You know, it really is a constant theme. We're going to get into the exact numbers on how many special elections Democrats have won here, but truly throughout 2025 and now 2026, Democrats have vastly outperformed expectations. Here's CNN's John King last night explaining why Democrats are set up very well for this November.
Democrats are winning local elections everywhere throughout 2025 and now throughout 2026. And they're doing it all over the map in ruby red states like Florida, in Georgia, in Mississippi, in Texas, in Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So Democrats clearly, the facts just speak plainly, the math speaks plainly as day. Democrats have huge enthusiasm behind them right now, and Republicans keep losing in places where just in November of 2024, they were winning big. And so Democrats believe that they had a good year set up because it's a midterm year. You have a Republican president, his poll numbers are down. They thought they had a good year, and they think actually as we start to move through the early spring here, the opportunities are getting even bigger and wider, broader, if you will.
Yeah, as John King laid out there, Democrats are really in a fantastic position this November, and Democrats like Emily Gregory are going to be running across the country, across the board, really there are many, many Democrats who are ready to step up and lead like Emily did last night, and congratulations to her. But this is part of an ongoing pattern that we have seen 2025 through 2026 of Democrats vastly overperforming. We even saw last night, in addition to Emily Gregory in Florida, that Brian Nathan won a state Senate seat there. And Nathan won in a +7 Trump district. So these are not districts that voted for Harris, who are, strong Democratic districts. No, these are districts that voted in favor of Donald Trump the last election not that long ago. So congratulations as well to Brian Nathan. But this is a trend that we are seeing throughout the country, that Democrats, even if they're not winning, are vastly outperforming expectations in districts that Trump won by 20, 25 points. Democrats are coming very, very close to winning those districts. And in fact, the 11-point overperformance, the 12-point overperformance that Emily Gregory had in Florida is not even the most impressive overperformances of this cycle. In fact, there have been overperformances of +20, +25 that Democrats have seen. So this is not new, but it really is a humiliation for Donald Trump, who is seeing his poll numbers absolutely collapse lately. Voters do not trust him on the economy. Voters do not trust him on inflation and immigration. It is an absolute nightmare now for Donald Trump. And I think it really is humiliating for him in particular because Mar-A-Lago is a place that he has frankly always liked more than being in D.C. in the White House. We know this. He hung out with Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-A-Lago, who was a revered guest there for many years. But Mar-A-Lago is a place of comfort for him. It's a place of safety and security. He's done a number of, press conferences there. He's done a number of events there. He's won a lot of his golf tournaments there. And I say won in quotes because it's all just made up. He doesn't actually win any golf tournaments. But now Donald Trump will be represented by a Democrat in his own district in Florida. And just a note, too, about the House districts, the state House districts, state Senate districts. I think a lot of the times we get caught up with, of course, who wins the White House and members of Congress and federal offices. But so often these state House members and state Senate members are the ones that are changing lives for better or for worse. And, we've seen this transformation, especially in Florida, where Republicans have really dominated the state House and state Senate for a significant period of time. And truly has caused a lot of damage to the folks there down in Florida. And, I'm from Arizona. And so for many, 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 many years, Republicans have controlled the House and the Senate there. And thankfully, we have our amazing Democratic governor, Katie Hobbs. But it really has wreaked havoc on our economy. It's wreaked havoc on our education system. So when we put Republicans in charge of these state houses and state Senate seats, it really is not good and potentially even more important than winning federal seats. It's just the reality. And I got to say, too, Emily Gregory, what a fantastic candidate, being willing to go and run in Donald Trump's home district and face the wrath of his potential administration coming after her. And that takes a lot of guts, right? That takes a lot of guts to be able to do that. So kudos to her for doing that. But you can see the stats on your screen right now, the number of overperformances Democrats have had this last cycle, 2025, 2026. And, I think, of course, too, we think about Virginia, New Jersey, places where Democratic governors won by a significant amount. And don't get me wrong, those were incredibly important and vital wins. But also at the state legislative level, Democrats have picked up a number of important seats. And what I tell people all the time is that you can be excited about the federal races, right? And we should be excited about them. We should, of course, want to win Congress in November of 2026. But really, this is an amazing sign for Democrats come this November and our efforts to win back the House, win back the Senate in Congress. Look at what Harry Enton was saying today on CNN about Democrats' chances to retake Congress this November.
How delicious for Democrats this morning. My goodness gracious, they're waking up. Maybe they're going to get brunch at Mar-A-Lago and say, yummy, yummy, because this result will make their stomachs feel quite good indeed. Florida's 87th House District election margin, Sarah is laughing over there. Look at this. In 2024, Donald Trump won it by 11 points. Look at this swing all the way to the left. We got Gregory, the Democrat, winning it by 2 points in this state house special election. I will also note that they flipped a state Senate district as well further north in the state. So double fun for Democrats in a state that they have been struggling with. Democrats have lost so much power in Florida over the last decade, and then they're able to win in Donald Trump's backyard. Democrats are absolutely loving it this morning.
Yeah, Harry laid it out there pretty perfectly. I mean, it is a stunning rebuke, again, of Donald Trump and Republicans that we saw last night in Florida. But this, again, is another sign of Democrats winning and winning and winning, and they will win this November. I think there is a lot of discussion about, well, what is the Democratic Party actually doing? And I understand that, right? I think Democrats still need to, of course, stand for something, and they need to fight back against this Trump regime. But what we're seeing is that voters are sick and tired of Republicans. They are sick and tired of Donald Trump. And come this November, it is looking increasingly likely that Democrats will take back the House, and we will fight to compete to take back the Senate. And that is the ultimate goal here. So the bottom line, folks, is that Emily Gregory winning last night in Donald Trump's home district of Mar-A-Lago, really, she is now his representative. Isn't that funny to think about? So I guess if he has any constituent concerns, he can go to her. But winning Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago district, Brian Nathan again winning last night in Florida as well, flipping that Trump Florida district Senate seat, and Democrats, again, continuing to overperform and win in massive upsets all around the country. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and like. It really would help me out a lot. And until next time, thank you so much.